Yes, of course, we all remember the saner times of logic and common sense when, for instance, the women's movement was all about women.
I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman.
Nowadays, of course, the women's movement is far more focused on Donald Trump.
You MAGA dads that voted for Trump, what did you tell your daughters?
TDS is getting so bad that some feminists might even have to give up their cushy careers.
I think my law firm's about to make a deal with Trump, and I need to now decide if I'm going to walk away from over $300,000 a year or if I'm going to stand here spineless.
For other young feminists, there's only one way to express their acute TDS.
I am literally never kissing a man again in Trump's America. Like, it's not happening. Like, you guys lost me. Like, congratulations. You won the war, but you lost the bisexual battle.
For other women, acute TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome, is putting a terrible strain on their marriage.
Today I got told by my white Southern husband that I need to get off my phone, get off TikTok, and get my ass out into the real world. He straight told me that Trump will not destroy America. This will not destroy America.
Other women are seeking unusual methods to channel their TDS rage.
Because it's going to take one of them today. It's going to take one of them today to look at me sideways. And I'm going to take out the anger that I feel about these Kotex pads on them. Because you couldn't vote for a black woman. Because you were too... You couldn't vote for a black woman, whether it was misogyny, anti-blackness. I'm gonna crash the out.
Perhaps she'd feel more at home with this young feminist who can reveal that all Trump has done is unleash unbridled racism.
Why aren't white people openly racist? Why do they try to hide it with these weird innuendos that they think are subtle? It's because a part of them knows that racism is not currently in fashion. However, the more that Trump continues to spout racist nonsense and be our president, the more it becomes in fashion, aka socially acceptable.
So clearly, in these days of Donald Trump, the women's movement is struggling to reinvent itself or to make itself more relevant to a new generation of younger women. Maybe the real problem for young women these days is feminism itself.
I don't want equality. I don't want somebody to pound me up and ask me if I paid the cable bill. I want to be someone's delicate flower. I want to be treated like a sweet baby angel. I want them to come home and be like, babe, did you make this? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, my love. And I'm like, I know. That's what I want.
Ooh. And it looks like the patriarchy ain't so bad after all.
Everyone always talks about the patriarchy keeping them down. Smash the patriarchy. The patriarchy is the only thing that has ever promoted me. Ask any girl when you're just having a casual conversation and she's not being a feminazi if she would rather work for a male or a female. And she will tell you. And why? Because women are jealous. Women are moody. Women are insecure. And for some reason, they take all of that out on the women working for them. Because women are mean to each other. We are our own worst enemies. And maybe, just maybe, it's because women aren't meant to spend their childbearing years in a corporate workplace.
Or to put it another way,
it's very isolating as a woman when you have to do all of that all on your own and you can't find somebody that you can outsource some of those chores and financial responsibilities like you would with a spouse. So no, being a single working woman absolutely sucks. It's the worst thing ever. I hate it. I would go back to the 1950s in a second just so I wouldn't have to deal with this.
If you insist.
I'm Lacey Faye, and I live every day like it's 1958. People's reaction is it's almost always positive. This is who I am, this is what I like, and I feel like you should do what you like. You should do what makes you feel beautiful and dress however you want to dress that makes you feel the most like you.
Indeed. And here's one young woman who also has discovered the joys of a more old-fashioned approach to dating and romance.
Guys, I went on a date this week and I felt the feminism leaving my body. Guy is usually not my type. Like, I cannot remember the last time that I went on a date with like a straight bro, you know what I'm saying? But it befell me. It befell me in an organic fashion. So I'm on this date with this guy, and the thing about a guy's guy is he's putting his card down. He's paying for everything. And I really it sort of activated something feral in me, I'm not gonna lie.
Others have found that shock horror men and women are different.
Those aggravating things about men is that they do things with no hidden meaning. That just blows some of our minds, okay? Because guys will do something and I'm always sitting there like, but why did he do this? He literally did it because it just is what it is. Why did he text me good morning? Bored at work and was just like, hey, what's up? But he said it in a nice way.
Hidden meanings. For other young girls, however, the sisterhood is there for revenge.
So wait, it was over with you and then you set him up with her?
No. I found out that he cheated on her, so I cheated on him for her because he cheated on my best friend.
She cheated on him, so he said other women feel the need to express their innate rage at the men in their lives. I feel so much better. But not every woman likes to be treated as a lady.
The other day I went to a restaurant with my girlfriend and my 4-year-old, and the server came up and said, "Hello, ladies," and proceeded to take our drink order. And as soon as the server left, my 4-year-old looked at me and just gasped and was like, "They called you a lady."
Called you a lady? Yes, that's the problem with good old-fashioned 1950s style manners. When do you call a lady and when do you call a sir a sir?
Nothing like a good misgendering. It is a knife in the gut when I get called sir. I feel like I need to tell him. I need to tell him that hurt.
Ah yes, gender confusion, gender fluidity. That lunacy has certainly thrown a spanner in the old I am woman, I'm invincible works.
I am starting a new job on Monday, and it's a teaching job, so the kids are going to call me either Mr. or Mrs. Jamie. It depends on what I want, but I, as a non-binary being, I don't know what to pick. I feel like Mrs. would be easier for the kids, but Mr. makes me feel better, but I also kind of want to try mix, but I don't know if the kids can do that. I don't. And then what do they do when they ask me if I'm a boy or a girl?
Shame no one ever thought to ask Helen Reddy or Amelia Pankhurst or Germaine Greer, for that matter, what is a woman? Mind you, back in the 1950s, the differences were fairly clear.
Well, we'll have a better chance of getting those pictures back if he doesn't know we're onto him.
I'll get them.
How?
He's a man, isn't he?
Nowadays, of course, we have to mind our P's and Q's, or is it our he's and she's?
If someone goes by she, then call her she.
Yeah?
If someone goes by he, then call him he.
I'll try and remember, or how about...
I am trigender, which means like a triangle, I have 3 genders.
That's cleared that up, or has it?
And the girl looks at me and she goes, "My pronouns are she, her." And that's a trap. It's a trap that is always set by cis people because they need to know your pronouns. And they're like, maybe if I say my pronouns, they'll think I'm woke and will respond with their pronouns.
Yes, that makes perfect sense. For the past few years, the left have been incandescent with rage at people who didn't address you by your correct pronoun. Still, it could be worse, a lot worse. So bad, in fact, that some clever clogs set this transgender rant to music. Grunge music, no less.
I am offended that our children are not receiving affordable gender reassignment surgery along with hormone blockers and access to abortions. This alone is a threat to our democracy. It just shows that you people do not care about our children and that these are the same people who refuse to obey the science and get fully vaccinated. It's science, people!
The science! The science! But which science? The science of dressmaking?
So I know these pads can be removed, but right now it's giving me very drag.
Okay.
Very, very like, you know, it doesn't feel like me.
I look like a man in a dress, and that's not what I want.
Okay, fair comment, but there are other ways to not look like a man in a dress, like, for example, wearing a suit. But I digress. If you are going to resemble a man in a dress, I always advise bring your own hula hoop. Meanwhile, the UK Supreme Court has just declared a woman is a biological woman. Why on earth did they need to do that? Yes, it truly is a world gone mad.